Welcome, everyone. This is the Telarus Fat Tuesday call for February 25th, 2020. Today is Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday. And whether you're celebrating in New Orleans or elsewhere, today is the day for rich, fatty foods, colorful beads, masks, and a big party, also known as Any Friday in Roger Blom's office here at Telarus. Enjoy that. I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Thank you for joining today and being part of our weekly Telarus event. Quick reminder that during the month of January, Telarus Chief Product Officer and co-founder, along with guests Kobe Phillips, Dominic Singer, presented a series of 4 special Tuesday call presentations, which are a tremendous overview of the entire Telarus supplier portfolio. And in addition to the Tuesday call recordings of those calls, Patrick's also compiling this valuable information into a series of blog posts which partners can use to educate themselves on our suppliers, as well as to develop compelling sales discussions to conduct with clients. You really should check this out. It's at telarus.com/resources. Thanks to Patrick, Kobe, Dom, and everyone else involved in presenting this exceptional series of Telarus Tuesday calls. You'll get some benefit from that all year long. If you happen to miss last week's Telarus Tuesday call, we were joined by our longtime friend Aaron Acree. He's the National Director of Master Agents at Nextiva. With Nextiva, your clients can manage all conversations in one place, understand their entire business in real time, and automate anything that can be automated. Clients can supercharge their business with a truly unified and integrated platform. Nextiva is business phone service with powerful tools to prospect, engage, and manage customers. Aaron joined our call with big news on how Nextiva will help you grow your business using demand days while supporting you with a best-in-class sales operations team. U.S. News rated Nextiva Best Business Phone Service in 2020. The new way of working is Nextiva, and the recording of that call, and in fact all of our Tuesday calls, is available anytime in your Telarus partner back office. Today, we're very happy to welcome our friends from RSI, Renaissance Systems Incorporated, or if you prefer, Reimagining Security and Innovation. RSI is the home of CyberCompass, a SaaS solution providing continuous cyber risk control for any company. RSI transforms company and culture through fully automated solutions for business workflow. They serve the enterprise with software solutions for business process improvement, artificial intelligence for big data, and custom managed IT services. Trish Kapos, Taylor Hersom, and Telarus' own Dominic Singer will all be part of today's presentation and discussion, which is coming up here in just moments. Also on today's call, we'll introduce you to a brand new Telarus supplier. It's Observe.ai, sometimes simplified to Observe AI. Observe's voice AI transforms contact centers, turning every agent into the best brand representative. Observe monitors quality and compliance across 100% of calls and provides AI-based coaching and insights. You'll learn more about Observe.ai coming up here in just moments. As always, we invite you to move to the center of each aisle, refrain from any flash photography, and remember that each of us is unique, just like everyone else. And please log into the video link and live chat platform to see all of today's valuable information and to submit your questions and comments for today's presenters. Let me tell you about an easy way to earn a phenomenal trip to St. Lucia, a country in the Caribbean, north of Venezuela, between Martinique and St. Vincent. What a beautiful place to celebrate your success. A few months ago, Telarus COO Richard Murray joined our call, and he announced the 2020 Telarus President's Club event to be held next March in St. Lucia. And our Telarus suppliers will make it easy for you to qualify for this year's award. You can either sell a combined 100K in Telarus MRR, or sell a specified amount with one of the individual sponsoring suppliers shown here on your screen. As you can see from the list, there are many terrific and easy ways to qualify, and this list continues to grow. Every sale counts toward qualifying for this amazing trip. Don't miss the opportunity to join Telarus March 7th through 10th, 2021 in St. Lucia for the 2020 Telarus President's Club. Well, today I have the great pleasure of introducing our newest Telarus supplier. It's Observe.ai, transforming contact centers by turning every agent into the best brand representative. Jordan Yates was supposed to meet with us here this morning. He is unable to make the call today, but let me tell you just a little bit about this company. Observe monitors quality and compliance across 100% of calls. They provide AI-based coaching and insights. It has never been easier to quality check every call and to drill down on important moments, to replicate what the top agents do best. I just got word that Jordan Yates made it onto the call. Jordan, welcome to the Telarus Tuesday call. This is a terrific new partnership. Tell us a little bit about why our agents need to know about Observe.ai.
Yeah, absolutely. Can everybody hear me?
You sound great.
All right, fantastic. Well, we appreciate everybody giving us a few minutes. And what we would like to do is just give you a little bit of information about Observe.ai and who we are and what we can do. And then we'd kind of like to give you a little teaser for a demonstration that we would like to present to everybody tomorrow. So Observe.ai is transforming how the industry looks at voice, specifically around sentiment analysis, quality management, coaching. We really wanted to go into the industry and change the way you look at those things. On the demonstration tomorrow, we're going to be presenting to you specifically how we handle the speech analysis in a different way. Then we're also going to look at the fact that Observe.ai is able to evaluate 100% of the calls that are coming in and out of a contact center. Instead of taking the stress and job from the QA/QM team to find which calls they need to evaluate, we're going to show you how our system is able to actually take the phone calls and the recordings that are happening already today in the contact center and then go through our system and automatically monitor and evaluate everything that is going on the calls and spit out a quality score, and then allowing the QA/QM team to then take those scores and dive in much deeper into the calls that they need to look at. So instead of taking that, far view from what's going on, we're going to really help them dial in and take the guesswork out of what calls they should be evaluating. And then in addition to that, we have looked into how we're looking into sentiment, how it's being evaluated. So unlike our competitors where they're looking at the actual transcription of the call and they're only looking at the words and what is being said, we're taking it a step further and we're looking at not only the words that are being said, but we need to look at how they're being said. And the example that I like to use, being a very happily married man, is if I talk to my wife and I say, sweetie, what's wrong? If she's to turn around and say, I'm fine, obviously she's not fine. Obviously things are not okay. With our competitors and how they're looking currently at the sentiment, they wouldn't red flag absolutely anything. But the fact that we can actually look into not only what is being said, but more importantly, how it's being said, our system is going to flag that interaction and say, hey, we probably want to take a deeper look into that because that customer is definitely not okay. So on the demonstration tomorrow, after we show how the sentiment works and the fact that we offer the industry's best 80% SLA with voice transcription, we're going to show you how not only do we do the automated QM, but we're also going to look into the fact that we can take it a few steps further and offer coaching and evaluations from not only the QM level all the way down to the supervisor and agent level so that we can really use the data that you're getting and make changes, make impactful changes within the contact center. And that's really our goal, is to make those lasting changes to help coach the right behaviors from the agent level all the way up to the executives. The final thing that we'll show you specifically is around the accuracy itself, how we're able to do this easily. Our implementations typically only take about 3 to 4 weeks. They're not going to take months like some of the other providers in this industry. We'll get your customers turned up well, and then we send them on their way with full support. We do offer CSMs and support at every level with every customer to give your clients the true white glove treatment. So that just is, in a nutshell, what we do offer at Observe AI and what we're going to be demonstrating for you tomorrow.
That sounds fantastic, Jordan. I want to point out to everybody that Observe.ai was recognized, that is, as the #1 enterprise support for speech transcription. This is no small thing. They beat out Google and Amazon for excellence in speech transcription. This is powerful stuff. Observe.ai will be presenting their official launch and training call tomorrow. Now on your screen it says February 25th. That should be February 26th, tomorrow, Wednesday, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern. This will be a terrific call. You want to take that hour and join us for the launch and training of our newest Telarus supplier, Observe.ai. Jordan, thanks so much for being here today. We'll look forward to this tomorrow.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it.
Sounds great. And for anyone keeping score out there, that was the official first appearance of the word sweetie in the 10-year history of the Telarus Tuesday call. Here is our weekly calendar of upcoming local and regional events. Telarus continues to travel the country featuring opportunities and events to help educate and involve our partners with our fast-growing and changing industry. Tomorrow, Wednesday, February 26th, in Tampa, Florida, at the historic Armature Works. Telarus will present our Digital Edge and Cloud Boot Camp from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., sponsored by AirSpring, Effortless, and Synoptech. How to get your clients to the cloud is just as important as what they do in it. And that's why Telarus is helping partners understand how to architect and support their clients' digital edge and cloud environments. Come over and learn how to help your clients on their digital transformation journey. It's our Tampa Boot Camp. It happens tomorrow. And then this Thursday, February 27th, in Baltimore, Maryland, it's a Telarus Tech Talk and Brewery Tour from 4 until 8 p.m. at the Guinness Open Gate Brewery in Baltimore. This is sponsored by BCN, Data Canopy, Sharpen, and Vonage. You'll learn the latest from these popular and powerful Telarus suppliers and enjoy a free guided adventure around this historical site. Telarus Tech Talk this Thursday in Baltimore. And Telarus is bringing our spectacular and transformative Telarus Innovation Conferences to partners around the country. This year's edition features all new content from our Telarus management team and industry experts. Please plan to join us at an event near you for a day of training, networking, and activities that will transform your business. And there are service opportunities and prizes as well at each event. This Thursday, February 27th, the Telarus Innovation Conference travels to Columbus, Ohio, at the Ohio State University Stadium. And then on February 27th, we will be, I wanted to mention too, you could join us the night before at 5 p.m. for a welcome party at the Varsity Club, and that is sponsored by Spectrum. Then on Tuesday, March 3rd, the Telarus Innovation Conference moves to the Distillery District in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, with whiskey tasting from around the world. And then on Tuesday, March 17th, we're in the Big Easy, New Orleans, at the National World War II Museum. These will be immersive technology training experiences featuring outstanding training and content from our Telarus team and from many industry experts as well. Join us and take advantage of these tremendous opportunities to enhance your expertise and to build your business at the Telarus Innovation Conference. You can see our full schedule of events with all of Telarus' upcoming opportunities and register or RSVP at Telarus.com events. It is time for my favorite segment of the call. It's our weekly partner sales recognition. Shout outs to some of the highest performing Telarus partners who've put up some of the top wins during these past weeks. In third place this week, we recognize the team at Carousel Industries of North America. Customer success obsessed, helping clients to make the right IT decisions that positively impact their business. The Carousel team closed a tremendous sale of fiber Ethernet and VPLS services from GTT to a client in the medical technology field. GTT offers VPLS services that extend the simplicity of the Ethernet LAN across the WAN. It enables full traffic routing control with no sharing of routing tables or IP addressing. Carousel Industries understands that IT leaders are challenged with maintaining and growing influence within their organizations. Carousel helps their IT clients address today's needs as well as prepare for tomorrow's. Congratulations, Carousel Industries of North America, on this fantastic GTT sale. In this week's second position, Telarus congratulates Randy Jennings. She is the CEO and all of the team at the Cirrus Group, LLC, a Telarus Bronze partner out of Bordentown, New Jersey. The Cirrus Group posted an exceptional sale of fiber Ethernet services from Nitel to a client in the paving industry. Nitel is providing next-generation technology services with integrated and tailored managed network solutions, giving your clients the freedom to focus on their business. The Cirrus Group is a different kind of IT consultancy, meeting enterprise clients at their point of technical need. Their employees live at the intersection of passion and purpose. Congratulations, Randy Jennings and everyone at the Cirrus Group, LLC, on this extraordinary Nitel sale. Taking the number one spot on this week's top sales leaderboard, Telarus congratulates CEO Meg Toops and all of her team at Blue Sky IT Partners from Houston, Texas, a Telarus Platinum partner. Meg and the Blue Sky team closed an absolutely massive sale of unified communication services from Mitel to a client in the retailing industry. Mitel makes it easy for clients to migrate to the cloud, offering both public and private cloud options, and with next-generation apps built on cloud technology. Blue Sky CEO Meg Toops asked us to thank the Mitel team, Rich, Kristen, and everyone else behind the scenes, as well as Telarus for the relationship with Mitel that made this happen. Blue Sky IT Partners learns their clients' businesses in order to deliver custom-tailored solutions. Need smart hand technicians? Call Blue Sky IT Partners. Congratulations, Meg, on this phenomenal Mitel sale. It is our top Telarus sale of the week. Such impressive wins, and thanks to all of you, our partners, for continuing to trust Telarus with your business. Taking a look at this week's training calendar, 4 excellent opportunities being featured on today's call. First up, today, beginning at noon Eastern, Nitel has the information you need to understand E-rate funding for schools, libraries, and rural healthcare customers. E-rate is huge every year after the holidays, and this webinar will demystify the E-rate program. You'll learn what services are covered, how do customers apply for funding, what's the difference between SPI and BEAR funding. Nitel has your answers. You can join their special E-rate training. That is today at noon Eastern. Right afterward, today at 1 p.m. Eastern, from Sprint, the training you need on Sprint's popular push-button alert system. Now, this is a solution to support the mandates and the ordinances being passed across the United States to protect workers, especially hospitality workers, from harassment and assault. Simply introduce the technology to your hospitality clients. Sprint will co-sell it with you. You'll learn today about the offerings from My Devices and Sprint Wireless and the terrific incentive program associated with these products. It's an amazing product that will accurately report the location of any employee anywhere on the customer's property. Sprint Panic Button training happens today at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, as mentioned earlier, it's the official launch and training call for our newest Telarus supplier, Observe.ai. Observe's Voice AI transforms your contact center, turning every agent into the best brand representative. They monitor quality and compliance across all calls, and provide AI-based coaching and insights. Learn how you can profit by introducing your customers to Observe AI. This training happens tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then this Thursday, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern, plan to join 8x8 for their contact center virtual demo. This special training shows you how integrating a contact center into a CRM can help deliver a faster response for your client's customers. This event will discuss the customer experience, the agent experience and interface, the supervisor console, administration and configuration, along with reporting and analytics. It's all you need to know to begin offering contact center services from 8x8. This special training happens Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. The details and registration links for these and for many other live and recorded learning opportunities are all in your Telarus Partner Back Office at agent.telarus.com. There are some tremendous spiffs available to Telarus partners in this new year as well. Here are a few of the best. First up from Vonage, drive great CX, rule your market, and earn big rewards. This year, not hindsight, but rather foresight is 2020. And Vonage is offering spiffs of 5x MRR on all deals with minimum 3-year term. You can also earn 3x MRR spiffs on all deals with a minimum 1-year term. It's a huge bonus to kick off the new year. Use your foresight to anticipate customer needs and experience and cash in the process with up to 5x MRR spiffs from Vonage. And next, Internet phone service and security services provider Ooma, you'll remember they recently acquired BroadSmart, is offering 5x spiffs on sales of Ooma's popular Ooma Office phone system for small businesses, which require no contracts, and 5x spiffs also on 3-year contracted sales of Ooma Enterprise, a solution for sophisticated customers requiring international services, hybrid customers migrating to the cloud, and those needing open integration capabilities. Ooma Office and Ooma Enterprise, both offering 5x spiffs through April 30th. And finally, from Masergy, if you haven't sold a Masergy deal since January 31st of last year, or if you've never sold Masergy, now is the time. You'll earn a special Masergy Reignite bonus on qualified opportunities sold between February and June of 2020. Now, sales between $5,000 and under $10,000 get you a $10,000 bonus. And deals of $10,000 or greater earn a $20,000 bonus. Masergy's SD-WAN delivers simple, secure, and scalable connectivity that improves application performance, reduces cost, and increases agility. And now those deals pay even more. It's a huge Masergy Reignite bonus, and it is available through June 30th. These and many more fantastic deals from our suppliers can all be found at promos.telarus.com. Well, as mentioned earlier, today we are excited to be joined by RSI, Renaissance Systems Incorporated. They are the home of CyberCompass, a SaaS solution providing continuous cyber risk control for any company. They transform company and culture through fully automated solutions for business workflow, and they serve the enterprise with software solutions for business process improvement, AI for big data, and custom managed IT services. Today we're going to learn about RSI's latest offerings, Cyber Quick Check, an express assessment of clients' risk profile, and Connexacore, drone flight services and solutions. Trish Kapos is no stranger to the Telarus Tuesday call, and she is the VP of Sales and Marketing at RSI. Taylor Hersom is one of our most popular Tuesday call presenters, and he is RSI's Chief Intelligence Security Officer. Also joining us today is Telarus' own Dominic Singer, VP of Business Development for Security, and Dom will moderate today's conversation and Q&A session as well. Welcome to each of you. Trish, let's begin with you. Welcome to our Tuesday call.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you everyone from Telarus. Excuse me, so happy to be on the line again. Love the Tuesday calls and really excited about what we're bringing to you today. Why don't we go to even the next slide, and I'll talk to you about what we're bringing to you today. Like Doug mentioned, we want to highlight today our Cyber Quick Check. This is a fantastic sales enablement tool and a great way for you to begin approaching your customers about compliance and security. And I'm excited for Taylor's presentation and his discussion with Dominic about it. Next, we're going to talk about some success stories. By far and away, the leading thing that Telarus partners come to me about is, hey, give me more examples of sales and industries and verticals and solutions to help you decide, hey, do I have a customer that I could approach? So Taylor's going to walk you through some of those success stories, and I think it's a really important section for you to stick with. And then in the last 5 minutes, we're going to talk about Connexicor. It's a name you guys might be familiar with. We'll explain, and then I'll also talk to you about some new developments within RSI and how to engage us when you have opportunities and who to engage. And then lastly, I want to highlight our President's Club target for Telarus partners. So I don't want to take any more time. I want to turn the time over to our CISO, Taylor Hersom, to dig into Quick Check and success stories. Those are two really important topics, and excited for you to get this information today. So Taylor, time is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Trish. Hey, everybody. Taylor Hersom here. I'm so gosh darn excited to be on this call. I don't get to connect with Telarus partners face to face. Every partner out there, there's so many great partners, and this is a great way for us to directly engage and just talk about all the exciting things happening over at RSI. Today is very structured and geared towards Cyber Quick Check. So that's something that Dominic and I are going to talk about briefly, or talk about extensively rather, and showcase this new tool that we have developed in order to create a sales enablement platform for every Telarus partner. This is something that we've been building over the last few months. We've been talking to partners about it selectively, and we are ready for the prime time. We are so excited to talk about this today. So what I'm going to do first is just briefly overview what Cyber Quick Check is, and then I'm going to pass the mic over to Dominic, and we're going to kind of do a little bit of a more of a deep dive so that you understand exactly how you can leverage this tool. So Cyber Quick Check is fundamentally a website that we have built that allows you to enable a mini risk assessment with your customers. And so what this allows you to do is you, the partner, will be able to go through a 12-question risk assessment that is aligned with some of the biggest requirements in our nation as it relates to cybersecurity and data privacy. You can go through this with them in as little as 5 minutes. And like I said, it's a 12-question assessment. What it will do is it compiles their score, and it gives them a score at the end that allows them to kind of understand where they're at from a very high level. And it also allows them to see what steps they need to take in order to get these things addressed. So the beauty of our tool is that we have built this for the Telarus partner to be a white label opportunity. And so what I mean by that is, if you could click for me, Estefania. So what we are able to do is this page that you see here is simply an example. Replace that RSI logo with your logo. Replace that contact information with your contact information. The about page, it's all about you. The contact form itself, they fill out anything and it goes to the contact information that you provided to us. So this is truly a white labeled partner tool that you can leverage. And Dominic and I are going to really talk about how you can leverage this, because we've seen some creative processes already in how partners use this tool and how they utilize it with their existing clients and with their prospects. But the beauty of this is that it is very modular and it can be used in a variety of ways. So I know that was a high level. We're about to dive into it. I'm going to pass the mic briefly over to Dominic.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So absolutely the best part of our community is on this call here today, and that's all of you, our partners. So look, this is all about how to help you have the conversation about cybersecurity. That's what this tool is designed for. It's how you don't have to worry about getting into the weeds of cybersecurity conversations, but how you can really focus on the business drivers, business outcomes, and helping customers make smart decisions about cybersecurity. So one of the things that we're really focused on here at Telarus is helping all of our partners be thought leaders in the space of whatever it is they're trying to sell, whether it's advanced services whether it's legacy telecommunications, contact center, whatever the case is. And today the case is cybersecurity. And so the idea of being a thought leader in this place is many of our customers really still struggle, or many of your customers, I should say, really still struggle with this idea of what it even means to have an effective risk management program or to have an awareness of what risk really is, particularly cybersecurity risk. And so that's really what this tool and this platform is designed to do. And it's a great lead-in. It's a great way to just have an interactive discussion with your customer about how they're managing business risk and going forward from there. So with that, Taylor, I'd like to see if you have a couple of sample questions here that we could kind of walk through. And actually, before we do that, Taylor, let's take a second here and just talk about how a customer might use this. Pardon me, how a partner may use this.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the way that we foresee this tool being utilized in the best possible manner is actually by sitting down with your customer and going through this with them. So whether it's a prospect or a customer you've had for a long time, as I had mentioned before, it only takes 5 minutes to go through this risk assessment. And so when you sit with them, you have 12 questions. They're all simple yes, no questions. You'll be able to actually see the regulations that they're tied to. And so our tool is interactive in that you can actually click on the regulation and it will link to the regulation itself. It'll give more information. And the cool part is we also explain the question in essentially layman's terms, because what we understand is that at the end of the day, 95% of the people you're talking to are business leaders, not necessarily cybersecurity gurus. And so we took the opportunity to really explain the question, what it's trying to accomplish, how they can think about it in a more concise manner. And so the beauty of that is that the partner now has the opportunity to either A, sit with their customers and go through this with them, or B, what we also recommend is just going through it yourself, memorizing a couple of those questions, memorizing our section of help and tips, and going in and just having an open dialogue with your customer without the tool involved at all. The other way that we see people using this is you essentially have your own unique URL, and so you'll be able to embed that wherever you'd like. And so while it is easy to send this link and send it to your customers to have them go through it, we really see the most success in actually being engaged with your customer, having FaceTime with them or being on a call with them. Or like I said before, memorizing a couple of the questions and using that to drive your conversations. So the implications of this are immense, because one of the biggest things that partners come to talk to me about is saying, hey, look, I don't know security. I don't know compliance. I can't keep up with all of this. I totally get that. And that is literally 99.9% of the folks out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. So we built this tool so that you can use this tool to be your enabler. This has the questions that you need to ask, and it has them explained in a manner so that you know as the partner why it's important and what they can do about it. And so the beauty of that is we try to take out all the legwork, and you can just use this tool to just put your business in hyperspeed mode and be able to just start having these conversations today.
You know, you said something there really quick, Taylor, and I want to just comment on to everybody in the field. So I used to be a customer, as many of you know, of these types of solutions. I used to be someone who practiced and implemented cybersecurity solutions altogether, and dealt with this whole challenge. And what he said, that a lot of our partners have challenges understanding what does compliance mean, what are the new regulation frameworks, how does it fit in my environment. You know what? Your customers have the exact same problem. And I would even argue, and I think some of you heard me get on my high horse about this, that it's because they tend to lose sight of the fundamental challenge of cybersecurity, which is addressing risk. They tend to get enamored with buying technology, buying some new solution that some marketer told them they needed, or that they learned about at some trade show. And instead, what we're doing here, and what we're helping you help your partners understand, helping your customers understand, is how to shift the conversation back to what matters most, and that's business risk. And this platform, with just these 12 questions right off the bat, your customer gets a free lightweight security assessment, risk assessment. You don't have to be an expert to walk through it. You can help your customers get gain trust in you in learning that you really bring to the table, thought leadership, and helping them understand, what? We were thinking about new firewalls, but we actually have more fundamental problems like disaster recovery, for example. So, Taylor, do you have a couple of questions that you could give as examples that are in this platform?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the way that as I had outlined before, we had aligned the questions with some of the heavy hitter requirements for some of the biggest regulations out there. So I'm sure everybody on the call has heard of HIPAA, for example. We mapped to HIPAA. We mapped to the NIST cybersecurity framework. And we also mapped to the state of New York's NYDFS requirement. And finally to the National Association of Insurance Commissioners. So these are some of these big heavy hitters, and we took requirements from all of those that were more agnostic, and we compiled them into simple yes/no questions. So the first question that actually gets asked in this is, have you conducted a security risk assessment in the last 12 months? Well, the beauty of that is you're already engaging your customers to hopefully prospect them to determine if they require a risk assessment. That's what we do. That's what we specialize in here at RSI. That's what we're known for with our CyberCompass tool. And so just right out of the gates, you already have the answer to that question, and you know whether to engage them on it or not. And as I had said before, there are the help tips section. So with that question, there's actually an explanation of why you need to conduct a risk assessment. And I won't even try to dive into that because Dominic, you covered it perfectly. But essentially, risk is the most fundamental, security risk is the most fundamental impacting factor to any companies that are collecting data these days. And that's every company. So that is a very heavy hitter question right off the bat. And the second question to that is, do you have a cybersecurity leader in your organization? It calls out CISO or a similar function, but as these new regulations are coming out, this is becoming more and more of a requirement. It's like having, right now, I mean, there's not very many companies out there that have a CISO, that have a chief security officer or even anything equivalent. Sometimes they don't even have a cybersecurity professional. And that's like having a ship without any captain. And so the idea with that is figuring out really quickly if they have anyone driving their ship as it relates to cybersecurity and compliance. So when they answer that question, you now have a talking point for services like virtual CISO, which is essentially a outsourced CISO that they can pay a nominal amount for. They dedicate a few hours a month, and they now have an entire team dedicated to their cybersecurity resources. That's not on their payroll. That's not on their overhead. And it's an easy pill to swallow each month.
Awesome. So just taking a step back and doing a rehash for everybody that's out on the call, really what this is a way for you to have a personalized branded website, if you will, or tool. I don't like to use that term because there's a lot more behind this, but it is essentially a tool. It's a software as a service tool that was built by CyberCompass that you can brand with your own logo, with your own contact information, and you can either use it as part of a marketing campaign. Again, we talked a little bit earlier about the best way that we see it is when you're interactively working with your customer, sitting down in front of them and walking through it. But if you wanted and you have the relationships with your customers, you want to send out this link to your customers, you can use it. They can log into it. It's not even a login, actually. They can just land on this web page, go through the questionnaire, get a risk score at the very end, also get reference material about how to solve the problem. And more importantly, they can it's helping them take a step back. Again, like I just continue to repeat things on purpose. It helps them take a step back and say, you know what? There's some really fundamental areas that we haven't thought about, like disaster recovery, like business continuity, and what does that mean to us as an organization? And do we really even understand where our critical assets are? So this is a way for you to have that conversation with your customers, and again, avoid getting into the weeds and really helping shift their mind to forget about compliance, which is just one piece, but it's about how do you get more effective about managing risk. And in the past, again, having been a practitioner, a lot of risk assessments don't get performed within the last 12 months. They got done 2 or 3 years ago, and then a whole security set of initiatives got put together and then put in place. And then a risk assessment might happen again another year or 2 years down the road. Well, the point here is all about being interactive, being consistent, and being on top of your security posture. And so with that, Taylor, one of the things you have as a tagline is this notion of assess, remediate, and maintain. And so we're going to, the idea of Cyber Quick Check, again, is to tease out opportunities. But can you talk for a second just about the concept of what it means to do assessments, to do remediation, and to do maintenance around a risk assessment process?
Absolutely. So the fundamental component that we always preach about is that you cannot address risks that you don't know about. You have to understand what risks are impacting your organization before you can even begin to address them. And so that's really where our CyberCompass services come into play. We are able to conduct very unique, very customized risk assessments for customers very efficiently and very affordably, so that they understand, based on their specific organization and the specific regulations they fall under and their specific business goals, they are able to conduct a risk assessment either with us or by themselves, and understand very quickly what risks are impacting their organization. And those risks are ranked by criticality. So that is where the identify portion comes into play. But that's obviously very important to understand your risks, but it doesn't mean anything until you actually remediate them. And so that's where CyberCompass also comes into play alongside our virtual CISO services, as we actually help the customer to remediate the risks impacting their organization and have the appropriate documentation in place to be able to prove their compliance or prove their adherence to their specific risk requirements. And so we really constantly strive to help customers understand that a risk assessment is the fundamental, most important thing they can do to help address any security risk impacting their organization. And the beauty of this is twofold. One, a risk assessment itself is an annual requirement. It's not a one and done approach. You have to do a risk assessment at least once a year, because your IT environment changes, the business landscape changes, everything changes. And so you need to be able to stay on top of that, which is beautiful for the partners who can actively stay engaged with their customers. But the second beautiful component of all of this is that each of these questions, even in the Cyber Quick Check, there's 12 questions. Those are 12 different sales opportunities for the partner, because these are identifying heavy, like high level strategic risks impacting an organization as it relates to security and compliance. And so if a customer is answering no to these questions, that means they don't have it in place, and that means you, the partner, can step in and help them to remediate that. And so identify, remediate, and maintain. Those are the things that we preach. Once you remediate a risk, what we hate to see is that you do something to put duct tape on a hole. It's not stopping the leak right then and there, it's permanently fixing it. And so the issue is that these folks will go through a risk assessment and they'll do something like maybe they don't have a cybersecurity policy. Well, we help them get a policy in place, and then they never open the darn thing again. So that doesn't help you maintain your risk remediation efforts. It doesn't help you stay on top of your risks. And that is why we identify this as a three-pronged approach.
And thanks for going there, Taylor, because I wanted to get into that a little bit. So that's the other thing. So that, again, I'm always, as the audience gets to know me better, right, I always repeat a lot of things on purpose, right, so that they stick. So the Cyber Quick Check tool is sort of your early entrance into how to have the cybersecurity conversation, how to be a thought leader and help your customers think more smartly about security, because I guarantee you they struggle with it. They may posture differently, they may say different things, but I guarantee you, and Taylor and I have seen it over and over again, customers struggle with it for a number of reasons. Either they can't afford, or they don't have the right number of security staff, or the security staff are focused on other projects or maybe buried in the weeds as opposed to being more strategic. And this is about how to be more strategic about cyber risk, because the whole point is there is no such thing as perfect security. And a lot of customers continue to sort of put their thumb in the air and lick it and figure out which way the wind is blowing, and then that's how they come up with a budget. This is a way, the Cyber Quick Check tool is an entrance to show them, you know what, I can think differently about my cybersecurity. And you, Mr. and Mrs. Partner, you just brought to me a whole thought stream I haven't really brought into my own space. And now I want to talk to you more, or I want to hear from your suppliers that can help me understand this a little bit better, which includes advisory services and all the other follow-on pieces that Taylor was just talking about. So Taylor, kind of along that point, do you, one of the things that I've talked about to a number of partners when I bring up RSI CyberCompass is that, you're really focused on risk assessments, risk advisory services, and a few other areas. Do you uncover opportunities, and do you then work with the partners to tell them, like, hey, for instance, your customer needs to have a conversation about log management or threat detection or threat remediation? Do you get into those conversations that help the partners understand that there's more opportunities for them to bring other suppliers in?
Absolutely. That's the beauty of our service is you go through this risk assessment and we're asking a couple hundred questions at least, and we're collecting all of this evidence to prove their compliance. So even if they feel like they are doing something, we ask for proof before we allow them to get that question, I guess, essentially right in their risk assessment. And so what this does is it's a very deep dive approach of their IT environment and associated security posture. And it allows us to uncover so many different things that they don't have in place currently. And the beauty of that is we love to specialize in the advisory services, but we don't play in vulnerability management. We don't play in endpoint management or any kind of network services of any sort. And so the beauty of that is we sit down with the partner and we say, hey, this is something that we identified. This is a new technology that they're going to need. And I know for a fact that there are multiple suppliers in the portfolio that you can call right now that would love the opportunity. And the beauty of that is you have now increased your commissions opportunity tremendously. So risk assessment is just your foot in the door, and it creates such a long-lasting relationship and so many sales opportunities. It's a beautiful model.
Yeah, and what I've seen, in the risk assessments and selling security, you really are at the highest level of a trust sale. So when you're having that with your customers, again, the Cyber Quick Check is the point of entrance. It's a way for you to have that conversation, to not feel threatened or challenged by how to have a cybersecurity discussion. It's a way to really uncover business challenges around risk, and then show that you have other players that you can bring in, help solve the problem, and particularly RSI for advisory services to help guide them along this path of maturing their whole approach to cybersecurity. So, there are a lot of different ways to use this platform. And one of the things I'm curious about, Taylor, is that, do you have, I think in the past, some folks have maybe looked at you and said that you're vertical specific, or you're really, targeted specific industries like financial, for instance. Do you apply to all markets, or are there particular markets you like to play in?
Yeah, actually, that's a great segue to my next topic. Next slide. The beauty of what we are providing is that we actually can cater to a variety of organizations. So we really dove in on our past wins with Telarus and tried to figure out some of these more out-of-the-box opportunities that we've had, because we want to help customers and partners understand that this solution is able to cater to their specific needs. So we have 3 case studies here that I'll just quickly go over to kind of outline how, adaptive we can be. So first case study is we have a marketing firm that's only 15 employees. They had no security in place, very limited budget, obviously, with only 15 employees. We were able to come up with a solution for them to be able to roll out an entire cybersecurity program after doing an extensive risk assessment based on the CIS Critical 20 framework. And they also, the cool thing about this is that we've actually been able to stay actively engaged with them. They tend to use us for pretty much any of their security questions. They can pick up the phone. They have my personal number. They have my team's number. They have a 24/7 hotline, and they absolutely optimize that. They use it quite a bit. And so one of the cool things was they had been contacted by their largest client that they make over 80% of their revenue on. And this client was demanding that they achieve SOC 2 compliance, which some of you may be familiar with, but it's essentially an audit that they would have to go through, and they would have to pay at least $60,000 annually, because once you get certified, you have to stay annually certified. So you have to have an auditor come on site every year and attest to your current security posture as it relates to SOC 2 requirements. And so it wasn't realistic. They contacted us. They were freaking out. I wrote them up an email. I did a quick cross mapping from SOC 2 requirements to the risk assessment that they did take. And I told them, hey, send this off. And they sent that exact verbiage. And their client not only dropped their requirement for the SOC 2 in present day, they dropped that requirement indefinitely. And so things like that, this was a super small client, not paying too terribly much money. And they were able to get all of that value. And we're still early on in the relationship due to our annualized project plans, being that we are with a client for a full year. So another big one was a aerospace machine shop that had to achieve NIST 171 compliance because their biggest client was the government. And so they didn't know where they stacked up. They needed something that they could roll out that was affordable for them, and they had nothing in place. And so we were able to establish a solution for them as well so that they could self-assess themselves on the NIST 171 requirements and understand very intensively where they stood with NIST 171 requirements. And what that allowed us to do was also achieve additional sales. So we've been able to do penetration testing and vulnerability assessments for them. We have an opportunity now that the government has released a new regulation requirement to help them achieve that particular certification. And so the beauty of that is with both of these case studies is that they are leading to additional sales like we talked about during the Cyber Quick Check. And then finally, we had a much bigger organization. So we put 250 employees and it's technically much larger than that because they're a hospitality company, but they needed an opportunity to gauge the security posture of themselves, but they were acquiring companies that also had poor security posture. And they brought us in to help them understand the security posture of another organization that they were acquiring. And that was a really cool opportunity for us to quickly point out a ton of vulnerabilities in this newly acquired company, which allowed them to make strategic decisions around whether they wanted to merge that IT environment into their existing IT environment. And so that was a really cool one. And of course, again, it led to additional sales ops. So that is the beauty of what we're seeing. And I know I keep saying the word beauty, but it really is just amazing, as you can tell from my excitement, how we stay so engaged with the customer and they're actively staying engaged with both us and the partners. And again, shameless plug, we are exclusive to Telarus. We don't have a direct sales team, so we are completely incentivized to stay connected with the partner and ensure this customer is taken care of indefinitely.
That's awesome, Taylor. I know we're a little tight on time here, so just rounding it out for everybody out there, what we introduced today is the Cyber Quick Check tool, right? Lather, rinse, repeat. Dominic, is that it? Here again. And the whole idea there is that you now have the ability to brand it yourself or to use these questions a few different ways and ask your customers and show them, that you care more about their business and their business risk as opposed to worrying about any particular technical product or technical solution that any provider can offer. And so what we bring to the table through Cyber Quick Check is the ability for you to really tease out opportunities to discover how to help your customers get smarter about cybersecurity, because it's not an easy thing to solve for. But what Taylor and RSI have done is that they have simplified and they truly are disrupting the risk management marketplace. There's a whole lot more we can talk about that, but I guarantee you, if you just use these, if you take a look through these questions, you and your customers start walking through these with you, they will see, you know what? I really want to understand more about what you bring to the table, Mr. and Mrs. Partner, and the fact that you're neutral and you can bring other suppliers in on top of these advisory services and what I can get through CyberCompass is, to me, very interesting, and I want to learn more about it. So I just strongly encourage everyone out there to take a look at what this is. This is today our formal launch to everyone out there, our entire partner community, to be able to use this tool as a lead generation mechanism. And I guarantee you, if you use it, and you can reach out to us to help get some coaching on it, get some more one-on-one time, we can help you discover opportunities and we can drive those and really take the money away from your competition, which I guarantee is happening right now. So with that, I know I'm a little tight on time, Trish. Pardon me for talking a little bit long here, and I'll hand the microphone over to you.
All right. Hey, that's okay. And I'll make these next items real quick. Keep your eyes and ears open for a new launch. This is a product called Clairvoya. We are distributing it to the channel. It is data identification and categorization. This is a call in and of itself and a training in and of itself. But just to kind of get your thoughts going, know that it's a product that can give you full information on your data. It can tell a company what's happening with their data and data flows, what it is, who touched it, where it's coming from, and where did it go. It's a real differentiator, and we will work with Telarus to let you know when we'll give all of the Telarus partners a full training and overview of what types of customers and industries need this type of service. Let's go to the next slide. Right now, Telarus has had Connexacore drone flight services in their supplier portfolio. What has recently happened, though, is those particular channel sales will now run through RSI. So for Telarus partners wanting to get into drone flight services, or if you have a customer with that particular need, you'll run that sale through RSI. Know that we've got our internal specialist, David Bergeson, who is our COO. He'll help usher those sales through. But for commercial drone flight services through Connexicor, you'll do those through RSI now. And just to give you a very high level of what that entails and the industries to look for, Connexicor will provide the professional licensed pilots. They're going to specialize in capturing all of the content and data. So this is drone flight services for data collection. And then what that you get at the end is this actionable insight through a cloud platform. So this drone flight service, they're connecting through cellular. So in some cases, you can almost be live receiving the data as it's being collected by the drone. But what I really want you to walk away from today with is just, I'm going to give you 9 industries that use this. And I want you to think about who's in your customer base. And if this is a product that you want to introduce them to, then you'll follow up with myself or David Bergeson. So companies that use, or industries that use drone services, are for construction site evaluations, insurance inspections, energy and utilities. So think the solar panel farms, telephone pole evaluations, real estate evaluation, railroad, agriculture. We do quite a bit of agriculture in the state of Texas. Cinematography, public safety, like aerial accident investigation, and rooftop inspections. So kind of think about those industries. And what happens is customers buy this by the flight. So each time a drone does a flight, there's a charge, and for you, there's a commission. And again, we will put our drone experts on that opportunity. But again, this is just another value add that you could bring to your customers when they're in, when they need that type of data collection. So more to come for all of you, but we wanted to make sure that you knew that this is the same Connexicor that has always been in the Telarus portfolio. The offer has not changed. You will just now gain access through RSI, and RSI is the one delivering it to the channel. Let's move to the next slide. What I wanted to remind everyone, and this is going to bring up some of the websites that you've been asking about in chat. I just want to remind everyone about the partner and marketing support. So we do have our portal, cybercompass.rsitext.com. We've given you the link here for the Cyber Quick Check. So when you want to get your co-branded version, go to the Partner Success Portal, and there is an online form that allows you to put in all of the co-branding information, and even allows you from that site to upload your logo. And that will alert myself and Taylor, and then we go to work in getting your landing page set up. It's really slick. We do these a lot. They don't take us a lot of time. Don't expect it in 10 minutes, but expect it within the week that you requested it. And then I also wanted to remind you that we do have co-branded assets. If you need a CyberCompass co-branded marketing piece, we can do that easily. And then, of course, we have our case studies. Not everything, we're having a little trouble accessing the Telarus back office, so expect within the next day all of this information to get into the Telarus back office as they help us with our connectivity there. But if you go to the next slide, I'm going to be giving you our emails. We would happily email the information to you. So here is how RSI is supporting all of our Telarus partners. We've kind of divided it up with the strategic partner development managers from Telarus. So I am handling Kansas West. I actually live in Salt Lake City, not far from the Telarus office. And so for partners who are located in the West, when you have an opportunity, when you have a question, when you need collateral, whatever you need, just shoot me a note. You've got my email here, and happy to help you and get you rolling on any of our products. And then in the East, David Bergeson, our COO, he sits in Austin, Texas. That's where our headquarters are. And he's handling Texas East. So many of you have been working with him, throughout his career. Well, this will be a real easy, quick call or email to him, and he'd be happy to help you. When you come to us and it is an opportunity that needs CISO services, we will engage Taylor Hersom, our Chief Information Security Officer, who you heard from, and we'll engage him in that opportunity. But as you have new sales and new opportunities that you're teeing up, get with myself or David, and then we'll pull in Taylor as needed. And one last slide as we close this out. I just want to remind everyone about a wonderful opportunity from RSI. We are participating in the Telarus President's Club program this year, and any partner who achieves $15K in new CyberCompass monthly recurring revenue will earn a trip to the St. Lucia President's Club trip. We're giving unlimited trips, so anyone who does 15K will earn a trip. I'll send you to the Telarus site for all of the disclaimers, but know that we really want to help partners achieve that because we want to go to St. Lucia as well. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know. But please keep in mind, we think this is a really awesome incentive out there. 15K is truly achievable, and we hope that we have many partners achieve that. And so with that, that is all the RSI has today. I really appreciate all the questions in chat. I've been trying to get to all of them, as well as the Q&A section. Maybe go back one slide to our contact information, just so if I didn't get to questions, someone can email those to me directly or to David, and we'll be happy to help. Doug, Dominic, I'll turn the time back over to you.
I yield the floor to Mr. Doug because he's the man. I thought maybe we'd do some Q&A.
Thanks, guys. What a fantastic presentation. I'm just sitting here taking as many notes as I can possibly get. I don't think there's another subject out there beyond the security topics that we've talked about today that are more easily talked about with clients than these are right now. There's not a client out there that doesn't need to have this discussion. And with the Cyber Quick Check tool, this makes this so easy to set up and have this discussion, and no one makes it easier than RSI to sell these services. So please take advantage of their willingness to help you start these discussions and the tools and resources that they've developed to help you. This is an amazing opportunity that we have right now. Can't thank you guys enough. Trish Kapos, Taylor Hersom, Dominic Sigger, thank you so much for the presentation today on our Tuesday call. Just outstanding. Very exciting stuff. Our thanks to each of you for your attendance and participation today. If you have suggestions for our call, please send those to marketing@telarus.com, and we will talk with you again next Tuesday. Until then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Happy Mardi Gras, everybody, and have a great selling week.
Thank you, everyone.